What's good, everybody? This is Ryan Johnson with MoneyBass.com. All right, we are back. We are back live and in action. We're going to do things a little different, guys. As you come into the chat, please drop a 1. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay and see me okay. While you are doing that, let me hop over here and make sure that the Facebook crew is okay. You guys are up and running, so just bear with me. This is a live show, guys. We are here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about some interesting topics. Sometimes, it may be about, some fishing, things that are going on in the industry, some hot topics. Maybe, I had a tournament or two that I want to tell you guys about. But whatever it is, we always get in here and have fun. The number one thing is introduce yourselves in the chat, guys. The chat here is one of the best chats on YouTube. Want to give a big shout out to you guys. All right, so I'm just waiting to see if I see a 1 drop in that chat while I'm setting up the Facebook crew, and then we're going to get straight into it tonight, guys. This is going to be an interesting one. And for anyone that is not familiar with the format of the show, basically what we are going to do, so, sometimes I have some special guests. You never know who it might be unless you see the thumbnail, that may stop through, and we have some interesting conversations about some just a few different topics. And at other times, like tonight, what we will be doing is taking a look at a few clips and going back and, kind of giving our input, our thoughts and suggestions on those topics. And the other thing that I do that kind of separates this from the other live streams that you see out there, guys, I drop the call-in link that will allow you to come on and kind of share your thoughts and ideas. I'll bring you up on the screen. Just make sure that you are cammed up, meaning that your camera is on. I will bring you up, do a quick audio check, and we'll hear what you have to say. Then we'll hop back into the live stream and see, if anybody else wants to come up. So we keep this very live and interactive, guys. The other thing before we get straight into it is I drop polls throughout the show. So just bear with me. What I'll do is go ahead and drop the first poll of the evening if I can find where I dropped it at. Okay, here we go. All right, so you guys saw the title of this live stream: cheaters and boat wrecks. Man, how do those two things go together? Well, we will see. We're going to see if we can kind of tie those things together and get some thoughts and ideas from you guys, the viewers that are out here watching. All right, so the first poll that we are going to put in here, just let me get this set up and just double check. All right, so we want to give a big shout out to the Facebook crew. You guys are live and in action, so we may see a few fellow Facebook people drop in every once in a while into the comment section. All right, and the first poll that we're going to drop in the chat, let's see: should penalties be more harsh for those that intentionally break rules or cheat? If they intentionally do it, can you unintentionally cheat? Maybe not. But so that is going to be the first poll question. So make sure you guys get active in the chat. And like I said, this is a live show, guys. So just bear with me as I get this poll question set up for you. Let me see. We have a faster way of doing this. Let me just hop over here real quick. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm getting this first poll question ready. And like I said, make sure you guys hop in the chat. And we will keep this first question very simple with a yes and no answer. So the question that we are starting off with for the poll of the evening is: should penalties be more harsh? Meaning, of course, there should be some type of penalty if you have a rules violation, or if you cheat, obviously. But should they be more harsh if the person does it intentionally? What do you guys think about that? All right, so that poll is live and in action. So we went with a simple yes or a no. All right, and so now let's see. I see you guys getting active in the chat. I see the ones in here, so you guys are looking good, sounding good. And want to give a big shout out to Mike Deal and the money team. What does Mike say? He said, be sure to hit that like button. That is true, guys. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. It definitely does help out the show. All right, so what I'm going to do right off the bat, guys, is we're going to hop right in here into the meat of the show. The other day, Todd Castledine, you guys might know who he is, along with Andrew Upshaw and Ishman Rowe. We're having a very, very interesting conversation. So, I kind of had to hop in there a little bit, kind of add my, add my little spice to it by, dropping a question for them to see what their thoughts on that question would be. And so that is going to be the first thing that we're going to take a look at. Just see that question that I dropped for them and see what their responses are. And make sure you guys get active in the chat because I want to see what you have to say about that. All right, so here we go, guys. Let me share the screen. All right, here we go. Let's see. There we go. That's good enough. We'll do it like this. All right, so we're just going to take a listen to what they had to say. So I went ahead and dropped a $5 super chat. You know how I do out here in these YouTube streets, guys. You guys, you know, you come into my live stream, you may drop a super chat or two on my channel. And believe me, I'm out there doing the same thing for other fellow YouTubers and fishermen out here in these YouTube streets. All right, so here we go. So you see the question at the bottom of the screen. So we're going to get into it and see what they had to say.
Money Bass actually brings up a good point there. Should penalties be more harsh for those that intentionally break rules or cheat? Why do people defend them?
100%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
100%.
I mean, the only thing that I've seen lately that I can applaud from MLF is the fact that they banned the guys for a year that intentionally ran the boat.
No.
Stop
it. You better stop.
All right. Well, let's stop it for just a second. So he said the guys that intentionally ran the no wake zone. That is what he just said, guys. So if you are familiar with that accident that took place where there was a boat wreck, and you guys may have seen it in the thumbnail, put a yes in the chat if you are familiar with that. And what I'll do is just, you know, maybe I'll bring it up and show you guys what they were referring to. But just drop a yes in the chat if you are familiar with the boating accident that they're referring to, where the guys intentionally ran a no wake zone, and you saw the results of that. And actually what I'll do is I'll play that in just a second, because I see some of you guys, okay, you guys are hitting me with the yes. All right, what does Mike say? What does Mike Deal say? Shout out to the money team. He says, oh, Ish gave the answer without thought. Oh yeah, he was quick on that. He was quick on that one. All right, so let's see. What I will do is let's just go ahead and take a look at that, so we can kind of get some insight into, you know, kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight, guys. All right, so just bear with me. Like I said, this is a live show. We get together every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, guys. And sometimes I do some pop-up live streams where we go over a few other topics, depending on what is going on out here in the bass fishing world. All right, so what I'm doing right now is just sharing my screen again. So like I said, just bear with me. All right, get this up here. All right, so here we go. So this is what he was referring to whenever he said the boat accident. So let's take a listen, guys. You need to listen pretty close to see whenever we talk about things that are done intentionally versus unintentionally. All right. And for anybody that is just tuning in, the first poll is active and in the chat. And that poll question is, should penalties be more harsh for those that intentionally break rules or cheat? If you're out there doing this stuff intentionally, should the rules be more harsh, or should they just be the same? If you run the no wake zone accidentally versus if you purposely do that, that is your intention to gain that advantage over those guys, over other people. You're intentionally doing that. Should there be a more harsh punishment for that? All right, so now this is the boating accident that I know a lot of you guys have heard about. So let's just take a listen. I want you guys to listen to what these guys are contemplating and what they're saying. All right, so here we go, guys. Let's take a listen to this.
Doug, are you going to let her skin? What's that? You going to skin it back?
Now, he said, are you going to skin it back, meaning floor to the pedal to the floor, so he can make it back on time? That is what they're discussing, guys.
As hard as I can. Problem is, I know the sheriff hangs out right
That's in Dora.
Yeah.
All right, so did you guys catch that? He says, hey, yeah, I think that's his plan. But he said, you know, the sheriff kind of hangs out over there. Why would he be worried about a sheriff, guys? What is he planning to do?
Yeah, but I'm talking about prior to Dora.
Prior to that, I think I am.
You're a 5:30?
5.
Oh, you ain't going to make it.
I can make it in 30 minutes if I go too so far.
No, it took us 50 to get on the other side.
I know. I think it's 50 easy. If you go to one of those no-wake areas, you can save 15, 20 minutes.
All right. So did you guys catch that? He said if you go through one of the no-wake areas, basically without stopping, you can shave off 15 to 20 minutes. He is basically trying to make a 50-minute run into a 30-minute run is what they're discussing right here. So sounds like he kind of has a plan put together already.
Not this
You
one.
can shave time off of it with this here, but I don't know if you can shave that much time.
This the door one.
Door is the one I'd be worried about.
Yeah,
But Dead River, I mean, you got so many fucking people.
yeah, that's the problem with that river. There's so many people in it.
Man, that just does not sound like a good idea. They are discussing that there's so many people, so there's going to be some obstacles, meaning lives, that are in the way of his boat run where he's planning on running these no wake zones, guys. All right, so yeah, this is not sounding good at all.
You run the wrong one, someone's gonna get called anyway.
Yeah.
Wait for your
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He's just a prick, that's all.
You got a limit. That's motherfucker.
Yeah, where the fuck did you go?
You hear about that one? Yeah.
All right, so basically what is happening now, it looks like that lock is they're basically about to pass through. And the person that we're watching, he doesn't really seem too concerned about the time. So maybe he has a later check-in time. But that guy in the front, he's already got his plan together. He's going to plan to run it through at least one lock. I mean, at least one no wake zone so that he can kind of cut back on that time. Mike Dill says completely premeditated. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It sounds like he definitely had a plan ahead of time on this one. All right, so let's just kind of skip forward just a little bit so you guys can see us running through right here. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Let's take a listen to this.
I was wondering, I'm like, how you gonna run something that you keep sitting right here? Like, how you guys gonna run when that's just they're running into each other?
Bleeding on hell.
All right, and let's put a little warning on this. There is a little bit of language going on in here because there is a guy that's bleeding. Oh, yeah, it's not looking too good for him. And there's, as you'll see, kind of a very interesting type of boat wreck that we're about to take a look at, guys.
You all right, man?
No.
He's on top of the boat. Holy fuck.
Yes, sir.
Get this guy's boat here. Get this guy's boat. Hey, take him in. You need to go. Take him in.
You gotta cut off your head.
Doug, really. God. Yeah, his dude.
Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and stop it right there, guys. So what you are looking at is you can see one boat over here on the, well, you can't see my mouse, but over here to the right of the screen, you see that boat up on the bank. But what you can't see is that there is a boat under that boat. And I'm trying to see, it looks like the guy may have made it out of there, but obviously that one boater was injured. He was like, I'm bleeding. And I mean, he's definitely letting them know that he is not happy with that situation. But they kind of came up with that plan and they planned on running those no wake zones. But look how narrow that area is that they have to run, guys. That does not leave too much room for error at all. So that was a very, very dangerous decision that they were making at the expense of the other people that are on the water, and let alone that co-angler that's on there. I mean, what do you think? If you were the co-angler on that boat, what would you be saying? What would you have said if you were going to be in that type of situation ahead of time? You know, your boater wants to make it back. He's about to try to make a 50-minute run in 30 minutes. So he has to cut some corners. He has to cut some corners with that one. All right, let's just listen to a little bit more of that.
Get your fucking boat off. Hold on. Get your boat off my boat, dude.
That is not something that I think any of us want to ever have to say. Get your boat off of my boat, dude. That is not a good thing. Definitely not a good thing. All right, so that is what Andrew Upshaw is referring to. So let's cut back. Like I said, this is a live show, so just bear with me. Let's cut back, and now let's take a look and finish listening to what Andrew Upshaw had to say about my question that I presented to them. Then we'll hear what Ish Monroe has to say also. All right, so let's see. Let's get this back up here for you guys. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. Let's continue with their let's see. Actually, let me put this back just a little bit, and then let's just continue and just hear what they have to say on this conversation. Here we go, guys.
Money Bass actually brings up a good point there. Should penalties be more harsh for those that intentionally break rules or cheat? Why do people defend them?
100%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
100%.
The only thing that I've seen lately that I can applaud from MLF is the fact that they banned the guys for a year that intentionally ran the boat.
No.
Stop
it. You better stop.
What?
Todd, he's trying to open up. You see what he's opening up, Todd?
What did he
He's
say?
opening up. You didn't hear what he said. He's opening up that can. He's opening up that can, Todd. You want me to be nice, or can I just go? Can I just go?
You need
can
to
I
be
go?
nice, Ishama.
He told him he needs to be nice. So basically what Andrew Upshaw is saying is that those guys, they were suspended for 1 year. So their penalty is that they were removed and they can't compete for 1 year. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that punishment being a 1 year suspension? And let's hop back into the poll real quick, just to kind of get an idea. And these polls are just to gauge the room, to let you guys see what other people that are watching the live stream are thinking. So should penalties be more harsh for those that intentionally break rules or cheat? So that intentionally is a key word that we are focusing on for this first poll question. And we have 92% of you are saying, yes, it should definitely be more harsh. And wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's check my likes, guys. What are my likes doing? They're not doing too well. My likes are not looking good. Can you guys get me up to, let's see, we should have at least 30 likes in here. Can I get about seven or eight more likes to start it off, guys? You know, we're trying to get things going. We're trying to have some fun with this. This is a very, very interactive show. I will drop the call-in link in just a minute. So if any of you want to come up and express your thoughts or opinions on this topic, I can bring you up on the screen. Just make sure your camera is on. You know, we can come up and chop it up a little bit. But yeah, definitely make sure you hit that like button for me, guys. It really does help out the channel. All right, so let's see. We're gonna hop back in here and see what else Ish had to say. Ish does not seem like he is in agreement with a 1 year suspension for something that egregious. It was kind of egregious, guys. All right, let's finish listening to what they're saying.
Todd, it's Todd's show. You can't tell me what to do on this one. It's Todd's show, so Todd has the really. If it's your show, Fantasy Pick'ems, then I would be like, okay, I'm letting it go. But Todd, he opened up that can. Can I? Yes or no?
Ask him to repeat it?
Okay, let him repeat it, and then I'll let Todd tell me yes or no.
I was actually happy the fact that they banned those guys for a year. I thought that was kind of not as stiff of a penalty.
Okay, you didn't say that. You didn't say that.
Well,
okay,
but I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I don't think it was enough, but at the same time, it's the most I've ever seen them actually do, too. You know what I'm saying?
No, it isn't.
Banning somebody for a year?
You didn't see what happened.
Said that.
Yes, they have. James got 2 years.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Watson. That's a different deal.
That's 2 years. See, that's what. Oh. I'm going there. No. Okay, so here's my thing. Here's my.
Okay, seems like they're about to get into it, guys. Seems like they're about to get into it. All right, so before we do that, though, let's check my likes. Did you guys fix my likes? Did you take care of me? Let's just take a look and see. Almost there. We're almost there. I mean, you guys are hitting the like button a little bit. Can I get 6 more likes? Like I said, guys, it really does help out the channel. While we're waiting for those likes to come through, let's just hop into the chat real quick and see if anybody has any comments that they, want to add in on this topic so far. All right, so let's see. All right, so William Morse, shout out to William Morse, says the passenger in the boat on top is a very good friend of mine. Good guy, puts a lot of big money tournaments here in Michigan. Oh, he puts on a lot of big money. Okay, let's see. You said the passenger in the boat on top. Wow, the co-angler. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, sir.
So the co-angler. Man, hey, I'm going to drop the call-in link. If you want to come up here, I mean, maybe you have some inside information about how he felt about that situation. One of the things that we're going to discuss is what should the co-anglers do in that type of situation when they can obviously hear a boater planning on breaking the rules like that? Should co-anglers be held responsible if they don't report something like that? What do you guys think? All right, let's see. What else do we have in here, guys? But yeah, shout out to William Morris. Really appreciate you coming up with that comment. All right, so let's see. Big Ivy Fishing. Shout out to the money team. He says, oh, yep, this should have cost him more than just the fine. He should have been charged with reckless endangerment. Oh, yeah, that one's kind of tough right there, guys, especially since that other person was injured. And he said that was criminal. So, what do you guys think? Should that be criminal charges on that? All right, let's see. All right, I'm just going through the chat real quick, guys. Let me just check the likes again. As soon as we get those likes up just a little bit more, we just need 2 more likes. All right, you guys are doing it. Just need 2 more likes. All right, so let's see. So Mike Deal says, feel bad for the codes in that situation. Yeah, that's kind of a tough one. And, it just depends. I mean, are you going to let somebody just put your life on the line like that for some fishes? I mean, we're just fishing, guys. We're just fishing. Are you going to let somebody put your life on the line like that? All right, so Bren says life and death situation, both need to be out of pro fishing. All right, so you're saying ban for life, it sounds like. All right, so Bren is not playing when it comes to these penalties. All right, so let's go ahead and change this poll question. All right, there we go. My likes are looking good.
Yes, sir.
My likes are looking good. So let's change this poll question up. So for anybody just tuning in, we are gauging the room. The first question that we have for this evening is, should penalties be more harsh for those that intentionally break rules or cheat? Should those punishments be more harsh? We have 91% are saying yes, that they should be more harsh. So that 9%, maybe they're saying that the punishment should be the same whether you did it intentionally or not intentionally. But somebody who's intentionally out here breaking rules, guys, what do you think? Would you want to compete against somebody that is intentionally out here breaking rules? All right, so that is the first poll question. I'm going to change this question up and then we'll get right back into this video clip. All right, so the first question was, should penalties be more harsh for those that intentionally break rules or cheat? We have 92% that say yes. All right, so we're going to drop that poll question down and bring up this next poll question. All right, so this one will be kind of interesting. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. All right, so poll question number 2 is, have you ever turned someone in for rules violations or cheating? Whether you're a co-angler or a boater, have you ever turned someone in for a rules violation or cheating? All right, so let me get this one set up. Like I said, this is a live show. We are here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I kind of took a break last week. Had to do my 10,000 subscriber celebration, guys. So, I kind of took a break, but I am back. All right, so now let's see, getting this next poll question ready for you. Just bear with me. All right, so have you ever turned someone in for rules violations or cheating? We'll keep that simple. Once again, keep that with a yes and a no. That poll is live and in action. So this is very interactive, guys. So make sure you participate in the poll. The live streams always build off of the participation of the chat. And as you guys know, this is one of the best chats on YouTube. I mean, you guys definitely want to get in here and get active. And if you're catching it on the replay, hopefully you can see the chat, because the chat is its own other show in and of itself. So you definitely want to be involved in that. All right, so let's see. There we go. We have that poll question up. Just make sure you guys go ahead and get active on that. And let's hop back in here and see what else Ish Monroe had to say, guys.
Here's my no. Here's my question. Here's my deal. We've opened it up. Here's my question. And this is I posed to a lot of media outlets. I said, so we have a guy.
You ain't gonna get no answers from them. You ain't gonna get.
But no,
it's gonna be.
I know,
it's
but
gonna be. Hold on. This is what you're gonna get. Hold on. That's what you're gonna get.
Yes, because no, I did get a couple of answers, but here's the question that I posed to the whole fishing publicly, to the whole fishing industry, because I did it to a lot of media sources. I said, you have a guy who literally voiced his opinion about what he didn't like, which once again, we live in a free country. and he can say whatever he wants that did not harm or affect anybody, but yet you have 4 guys, make it 8, including the co-anglers, who should have also stepped up and said, hey, if you run this 5 mile an hour, it doesn't matter if you're going to be late or not. You're going to get disqualified for breaking a rule.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
premeditate.
Do we know they did that? Do we know the co-anglers didn't say
Yes.
something?
I
Yeah,
don't
they
know if the
didn't say
co-anglers didn't say. They didn't. If they would have,
I
come
don't
on,
want to
Todd.
bring the co-anglers involved because
I know, yes, you
I
have
don't
to.
wanna
You have to because, Todd, if a co-angler would have said that he's going to protest you for breaking a rule, would you continue to break that rule?
I don't think.
Okay. So there's a disagreement on should the co-anglers be involved in any of that decision process. All right. And I see Big Ivy, shout out to the money team. Big Ivy said the co didn't know that he could have lost his life. So the co wasn't, he's saying like, hey, we got to cut the co-angler some slack. But Big Ivy, aren't you a co-angler?
Yes, sir.
So Big Ivy's kind of on the side of the co-angler. He's like, hey, we need to let the co-angler slide. He says the co didn't know that he could have lost his life. All he knew was to hold on to those bars so he can, make it through it alive. So, but Big Ivy, look what Bryn says. Bryn says, oh no, that co did know. Bryn says the co did know he was planning on driving unsafe and cheating. All right, so Bryn is saying that this is cheating, and maybe that's because he intentionally ran that no wake zone. He planned to do that, and that is exactly what he did. And we saw the outcome where someone was definitely injured. And we know with these boating accidents, I mean, they were very, very lucky. A lot of these boating accidents that we see, people are not able to walk away from those. All right, so let's see. Let's just take a look at a few comments real quick, and then we'll hop back into the video, guys. All right, so Nick says both boaters should be criminally charged for the accident and public endangerment. Minimum 3-year suspension. Okay, all right. So Nick does not play. He says minimum 3-year suspension. All right, and so one of the other things we're going to get into, guys, is what do you think? What type of rules violations or cheating do you guys think should receive basically a lifetime ban? Like, you cannot come back and participate in our organization. So that's something that we're going to get into also, but I won't be able to put that into a poll question. So that's going to be more of a question that I want to see you guys responding to in the chat. And as I see those, I can pull those up and read those just so we can see. We're going to gauge the room. So you guys can go ahead and respond to that one in the chat. But what do you think? What kind of violations or cheating do you think would require a lifetime ban, meaning you cannot come back? And actually, we're going to let other organizations, we're going to let everybody kind of know about what you did, because we do not think you should be participating anywhere. Okay, so that's another question, but just get active on that in the chat. And remember, the poll question is live and in action. All right, so let's see. All right, so Nick said a 3-year suspension. All right, so let them come back after 3 years. All right, Max says MLF only bans you if your opinion leaves them. Oh, come on, Mac. What is going on with that? All right, let's see. Ron says, I agree with Nick. Shout out to the money team. DL Peck says, I agree with Nick too. All right, shout out to DL Peck. Make sure you guys go and check out his channel. I saw he was out there live and in action on a tournament earlier today. All right, I guess that was a replay from a tournament, but yeah, I checked you out just a little bit on there. All right, let's see what William Morse has to say. Co-angler wouldn't even ride back with him, had a guy that was driving by in a truck take him back to the weigh-in. Oh man, so the co-angler was kind of upset about that situation. Yeah, that is definitely an ugly one, guys, to actually have somebody put you in a situation to where now you are kind of obligated to report that unsafe condition, because now if you don't do that, that person may do that to someone else. So at what point do you stop these type of situations from happening? So yeah, that co-angler was put in a bad position. All right, the burning season.
Yes, sir.
The burning season says ban them all, get them all out of here. All right, send them back to the opens, make them requalify. So should the opens, if somebody is that openly violating safety, I mean, you have to think that number one thing that we always talk about, guys, is making it back. I mean, that is a terrible safety violation right there. I mean, what could be worse than that? I mean, I guess cheating is bad, but in this situation, some people can just come up not going back home. So, I mean, we've kind of seen those situations before, guys, and it is something that we all are touched by. So we don't want to see these type of situations. So what type of penalties do you guys think should happen whenever someone puts other people's lives in danger like that? Not only their life, but the co-angler's life and other people that may be on the water. There could be some kids out there swimming, some people out there just pleasure boating, things like that. I mean, you saw how narrow that was. And that really does affect the reputation of an organization that is now put in a position to where, how are they going to handle that? How harsh is it going to be? Some people are going to look at that and say, hey, you know, that organization, they're kind of letting this slide. So it kind of taints that organization too. So I think it's all around bad for everyone. But like I said, I'm looking for the responses that you guys have to say in the chat. All right, Bryn says lifetime ban on risking lives for sure. All right. I see you guys are getting active in the chat. Let me just hop through here real quick. And what I will do is play a little bit more of this video clip. Then we'll change out that poll. But I see some more people tuning in. So welcome to the live stream. We are here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, guys. And, you know, I will be celebrating my 10,000 subscriber. You know, that goal. I finally reached that 10,000 subscriber thing. So we've been growing pretty fast, guys. So I really appreciate everyone for tuning in and supporting the channel. All right, so let's see. The burning season says Brian New should be blacklisted for a year. Oh my goodness, man! There's all kind of things going on out here. I did do a live stream on that topic also, and you know, it kind of put Andrew Upshaw and another angler in a bad situation because now they witnessed something that their rules kind of obligate them to report, and if they don't, then they are actually in violation themselves. So yeah, I mean, it's just all around bad, guys, whenever someone's not doing what they're supposed to do. All right, so let's see. Clint Perry says, one of my favorite YouTube channels. All right. Shout out to Clint Perry. Really, really appreciate that. And look who we have. Shout out to the money team. We have Barker and Rugers checking in. Haven't seen you in a minute. All right, let's see. Barker and Ruger says, I think the optics on rules violations for safety are quite different than the optics for cheating in terms of illegal fishing activity. Snagging, snagging fish, fish cages, and weights and fish.
Yes, sir.
We have weights and fish, guys. All right. So Ron Robinson says, if I had been a I would have been looking. Something to knock my boater. Oh my goodness. Something to knock my boater with. So Ron said he wouldn't be having it. He would stop that boater. All right. The burning season says, what this rumor as someone fishing in a lock, is that a rule or a state violation? I'm not from Florida. All right. So yeah, I kind of heard about that. I can't remember the guy's name. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to toss a name out there and it be incorrect. But yes, there was a situation where an angler was fishing in a lock. And from what I'm understanding, that angler did reach out to the tournament director and was given the okay, and also the person that runs the lock, and said that was not, that they were okay to do that. So, but you know, we may have to talk about that situation on maybe tomorrow or something like that. We can get into that also. All right, so Crush It Jail, what's going on? Appreciate you for tuning in. All right, let me see. All right, you guys are networking in there, always a good thing. All right, so shout out to Mac. Mac says, if I'm a co-angler in a boat and the captain starts driving crazy, I'm pulling the keel cord and one of us is swimming. Oh my goodness. You're going to stop the boat. He's going to stop the show. Okay, all right, got you with that one. All right, the burning season says, I had someone hit my motor. Thank God he bounced off to the side. I slowed down for a no wake and he didn't. Oh my goodness. Was that other person in the tournament also? Yeah, so that is definitely, guys, we always want to make sure that we're being safe out there, because there's all kinds of things out there that already, you know, are kind of dangerous within itself when we're out there on the lake. So we don't want to put ourselves or other people in these bad situations. All right, Big Ivy says, some people just think they are above the law, and I think they should be gone for life. All right, so he's saying ban people for life. All right, so get them out of here. All right, what is going on? Shout out to Chappie. Says they gave James Watson a longer ban than the guys that almost killed people. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I mean, one person is kind of tainting the name of an organization. The other person is kind of putting lives in jeopardy. So I mean, what do you think? What do you think, guys? I mean, one of them is more involved with the the life situation, and the other one is kind of affecting some financials. So it looks like that financial things, people aren't going to play with those financials. All right, shout out to Kevin Two Fishes. Says, I definitely think that he should be gone for good. Yeah, I mean, so that's something that we're going to get into. Not only are there people out there violating the rules, but there's people out there that kind of defend them. They're defending people with that do rules violations, and maybe maybe they've done things that they think about, and they're like, hey, maybe we should give them a second chance. It wasn't that bad, but hey, we'll see. We're checking it out, guys. All right, Bassin with Big Malone says definitely banned for stuffing 5 fish foot lead. Okay, all right, so that is a lifetime ban. All right, so I think a lot of people would agree with that. Never know when they'll cheat again. All right, let's see. All right, Saber Outdoor says, please notice William Morse's comment. Okay, which comment were you referring to about the co-angler? Let's see. I think I did read that one. I think that's what you're referring to. All right, so he said the co-angler wouldn't even ride back with him, had a guy that was driving by in a truck take him back to the weigh-in. Goodness gracious. Yes, now that is bad. He would rather hitchhike with a stranger than ride back in the boat with that boater. And I'm assuming that is the boater that was on top of that other boat. So yeah, that is pretty that's pretty tough right there, guys. All right, so let's see. Where were we at, guys? Where were we at? All right, so I'm just going through here real quick. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. We have to stop the show. We have a sponsor of the live stream. Want to give a big shout out to Crush It Jail, guys, longtime supporter of the channel. And if you take a look, a member of the money team. So really, really appreciate you. And what I do each week is, if you take a look at the banner that is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, it says special thank you so much to the sponsor of the stream, Joe Winkler. So Joe Winkler was a sponsor of the last stream. So this time we have Crush It Jail stepping in and stepping up and saying, hey, I kind of like this content. Let me hop in and get in on the action on this one. All right, so just bear with me, guys. This is a live show, and I have to update this banner, get in here, do a little bit of work. All right, so there we go. So if you take a look at the bottom of the screen, the banner now says special thank you so much to the sponsor of the show, Crush It Jail. And what I will do in light of getting the getting a sponsor of the show, and each week whoever gives the largest super chat or super sticker during the live stream, they are the sponsor of that live stream, guys, because this show is supported by you guys, the viewers, the subscribers, and people that just stop by to say, hey, let's see what you guys are talking about over here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the call-in link. So if anybody does want to come up and, kind of give their thoughts and opinions on what we have discussed so far, just click that call-in link. And what that will do is allow me to bring you up on the screen. Just make sure your camera is on. We'll do a quick mic check and we'll listen to see what you have to say. I'll drop you down and bring the next person up. This is a live and interactive show, guys. So we have this live stream going on. And within that live stream, we have the live chat. Like I said, one of the best chats on YouTube. You guys are always in here getting active with some very good comments. I dropped the link and I will pull you guys up on the screen. And the other thing that we do is we have these polls that are coming up. So with these polls, it's always good to get in here and, participate. So let's just go ahead and get this next poll question ready. Let me just double check something real quick. All right, so the poll that we currently have up here, it says, have you ever turned someone in for rules violation or cheating? We have 3% that says yes. All right, so we had some people that had to step up. They were like Andrew Upshaw. They were like, hey, man, you put me in a situation, so I'm going to have to talk about it a little bit. And we have 97% that said no. So I don't know if that necessarily means they haven't seen something. They may not have just said something. All right, so now let's go ahead and change this poll question out. So we have 3% of the people that are currently watching. That is what these polls do. They kind of poll the room to get gauge the room to let you guys know who is currently getting active in the chat. So I'm going to end this poll and we're going to start the next poll, guys. So this next question is going to stay in line with what we're talking about. All right, so let's see. All right, so the other thing I want you guys to be doing in the chat is, what violations or type of cheating require a lifetime ban? What would you say someone would do to require a lifetime ban? And think about it. Right now, we're just discussing someone putting people's lives on the line. That is what you're looking at in this situation. There were some people's lives put on the line in this situation. All right, so let's see. All right, let's see, guys. I'm just kind of looking through here to see. And if you have any ideas on some poll question that you kind of want to gauge the room, drop that in the chat also. And if I see it as things are scrolling by, then I can put that in here too. All right, let's see. All right, so I just have a few questions in here. I'm just kind of taking a quick look to see which one should be next. All right, so here we go. So this next one is, should anglers report rules violations or cheating, or should they just let it slide? And I've asked this question before, guys, and the results that I received, even in the comments after the live stream, they were not what I was expecting to hear people saying, and they were pretty adamant about it too, guys. All right, so should anglers report rules violations and or cheating during tournaments? So if you see it, should you say something? And we'll keep them simple again, guys. We'll go with a yes and a no. Should just mind your business, even if you're in the tournament? Is it your business or is it not your business? All right, so that poll is live and active, guys. Continue to get active in the chat, and let's just double check those likes. How are we looking on the likes? Oh, okay, we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good on the likes, but can I just need 3? Can I get about 3 more likes, guys? Really, really appreciate that. All right, so want to give a big shout out to Crush It Jail, the current sponsor of the live stream. All right, let's see. All right, let's hop back in here and take a listen to see what else they had to say about this topic, guys. All right, so just bear with me. Here we go.
I don't think I can't answer that question because I don't do.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, so we'll just say
my mind doesn't think this way.
Okay, so the 4 boaters, who premeditated running a state law. 4. No, the 4 guys, all 4 guys who were in the lock said that they were going to do it on the video.
Oh, there was 4 boaters that said this?
There was 4 in the lock.
See, I didn't know there was 4 boaters.
Yeah. The video is, there's 4 guys who are just like all cheering to go ahead and go do it. Basically, it was premeditated. So everybody that was in that lock that said that, yeah, we're going to run the 5, once again, they broke a state law, a tournament rule, only gets a year, but a guy who tells the truth and voices opinion gets 2 years. What kind of crap is that?
Oh my goodness. What do you guys think? What is that? And I see we have somebody that has hit the call in link. So let's take a look and see who we have waiting backstage. Who is this here? What is going on, sir? How are you doing? We have Saber Outdoors checking in. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well tonight. And how in the world are you, Money Bass?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I've been kind of MIA for a quick minute, but I'm back.
Hey, I've been missing you. I was like, where's the stream? I'm ready for the stream. And you was just gone.
Oh man, yeah, I missed a few good topics that I knew people wanted to, come and share their thoughts about. But hey, we're back. I'm gonna get caught up. So what do you think? What do you think about these topics that we have been talking about so far?
Okay, first thing, my comment that you said to notice William Morris. You read the wrong one. I'm going to read the one that I wanted you to see.
Okay.
And William Morris says, I have to work. I let the co-angler know you're talking about it and told him to get on here. Maybe you can get him on to call in. And thanks for the tips on target lock. I've been dialed in ever since. I was like, that's super exciting that we have an outside shot of actually having not only second, but first-hand knowledge of the situation we're speaking about.
Right. Okay. So was that before or after the one that I read?
After.
Okay. So let's see. And that was William Morris, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I see he wouldn't even get back in the boat with him. So yeah, I definitely want to bring that one up. That's pretty interesting. Thank you for shouting that one out. If I can find it.
It should be like 2, 3 above the comment that you saw of mine.
Yeah, this thing is moving kind of fast. And so I miss a lot of them. So yeah, I don't see it in here. But yeah, that was definitely a good comment. So yeah, I mean, if that co-angler calls in and comes up, then that will definitely shed some light on some things. And actually, I mean, if I can, yeah, I'll see if I can reach out to him. We may just do a whole segment on on getting the co-angler's perspective when they've been put in that type of situation, because that is definitely scary. I mean, anytime we go out on the water, even when we're just by ourselves, I'll leave my life jacket on just because I'm thinking about my family and stuff like that. So now when you have someone else that kind of puts your life at jeopardy like that, man, that's kind of a tough situation.
And I'm on board with the lifetime ban, because think about if this already was very bad in itself, but if it were even worse, if that person had killed somebody, I mean, you talk about optics. What's the optics of my organization allowed somebody to hurt, possibly kill someone? 1 year off.
Mm-hmm.
And not even 1 year off from fishing completely. That's the thing that galls me to no end, is they can just as easily go fish other tournaments and do their thing long enough to live through this ban and be able to do it again in the future.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I definitely can understand that. And that's kind of what Ish Monroe is saying also. Like, hey, somebody else was just, kind of going back and forth with an organization, and they got what did James Watson get? Was it like a 2-year? Right, 2 years. And someone out here putting lives on the line.
Breaking laws.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely what he said.
I mean, what kind of optics does that show from the organization that, if you break our rules and argue with us, 2 years, but if you break actual laws that are voted on by the state, 1 year. And also not just arguing, but you hurt somebody.
Right.
And had the potential to hurt others. But I think the year ban is a joke, a complete and total joke.
Yeah, and what organization was that? What was that a Toyota series they were fishing?
I do not know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't catch it.
I have learned everything about the situation through seeing the video and what I have seen here tonight. Because you narrating the video, I hadn't seen that part before.
Gotcha.
I just seen like the little clip of a guy up on top of another boat, and I was like, "Wow, that's awful." And I didn't know the context behind it until tonight.
Right. Yeah. So it's definitely a very serious situation. So you are a YouTuber, right? You have a YouTube channel?
Yes, sir.
All right, so go ahead and shout out your channel. Let people know who Saber Outdoors is.
This is the logo you will see. My name is Mark Alexander, host of Saber Outdoors.
All right.
On Saturday, it is our 2-year anniversary on YouTube.
Wow.
And I will likely be going live at some point during Saturday to give us a good rah-rah. We survived another year.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming up, and you are welcome back anytime, sir.
Hey, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you letting me plug my brand, and I always plug your brand to anyone that will listen.
All right. Sounds good. All right, everybody. That is Saber Outdoors. All right. Sounds good. So if anybody else wants to come up, the call-in link, I will drop that back in the chat. And that way, you can hit the link. I will pull you up. Just make sure you are cammed up, meaning your camera is on. And I will pull you up and let you speak your piece. See what you have to say on the topic that we're talking about. So the call-in link is in the chat. All right. Now, let's hop back into the video and see what else Ish Monroe has to say about this. And it looks like Todd is about to hop in here now and say a few things.
I want to say this: breaking a rule and cheating can be very different. I totally agree.
Yes, because you can non-intentionally break a rule, but cheating is you can non-intentionally break a rule.
If you are intentionally going, I'm not allowed to do this, but I'm going to. I am saying I'm going to run this. So this happened.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring this up, and here's why I think. This is why I think this is cheating, and you should. I would have. I'm not saying they should have been banned, but they should have been DQ'd from this event. We just fished the Brandon Belt on Cedar Creek. I haven't even brought it up to the tournament director because I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and because I don't know what the tournament director can do or because the tournament director already did what he was supposed to do. Cedar Creek, you're not allowed to run any bridges ever. You're not allowed to run them on pad ever.
Right.
Okay. So we had we trailered both days, and I want to let you know the rules on this before I go into it. You are not, because I was going to do a whole video on this.
Here's a question. I do have a question though before you, like, two things that I need to know that you can explain. One, is there a no wake zone on the bridge?
No, I'll get to this.
No, is there a no wake zone on the bridge? Is there a sign, an actual physical sign?
I'll get to this. I don't think there is. I don't know if there is, but I'll get to this.
Okay.
I'll get to this. So it is everyone that we all, like, you won't hardly see no one runs them. Okay.
Right.
Now, I got mad a long time ago at ML because everyone's like, "Oh, you should know every rule." You know, like they all brought up that
you can't know every rule.
It's impossible. There's no way.
Yes.
However, on something like that about the bridges, because that was one thing Hallman and all of us always brought up, because Hallman says there doesn't have to be a no wake on any of the bridges in Oklahoma because it's a state law. I'm trusting him. Hallman has always told me in Oklahoma, throughout the state, it's a state law that you are not allowed to run any bridge. He's always told me that.
Correct.
So
right.
All right, so let's go ahead and stop it right there, guys. So that was kind of an interesting conversation. So yeah, I had to hop in there. I think you guys saw I sent a super chat with a nice question on there, and they gave some answers on that. But yeah, I mean, I'm checking out the comments, and we're getting some interesting conversations going on about that. Now let's take a look at the poll, the last poll that I put up. The question for that. Wow, wait a minute. Oh my goodness, is this a first?
Yes, sir.
The question is, should anglers report rules violations and or cheating during the tournament? And we have 100% of you guys are saying yes. I have not had a 100% agreement on any of these polls before, even ones that you would think would be obvious to where it should all be 100%. This is the first one. Should anglers report rules violations and or cheating during tournaments? Man, wow. And if you think about that, think about the heat that Andrew Upshaw received whenever he reported the rules infraction from Brian New. And based on what Brian New was saying, oh my goodness, that kind of opens up another interesting conversation, because he said that he intentionally ruined those beds. All right, so let's see. So I guess we can go ahead and drop this poll question down. I see a lot of guys have already participated. Wow. All right, so should anglers report rules violations and or cheating during tournaments? 100% of you guys are saying yes. So we're going to drop that one down. Very, very interesting. All right, guys. So for anybody just tuning in, welcome to the live stream. We get together every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we talk about a lot of interesting, topics concerning fishing, whether it's tournaments, whether they're hot topics, or, just maybe something that's going on out here. And also, I want you guys to always remember, you can stop in through here, use this as a brag board. If anybody had any tournaments this past weekend and you had some success out there on the lake, let us know in the comments. It's always good to hear from fellow anglers out here how you guys are doing in these tournaments. All right, shout out to 2K. We have 2K checking in. What does 2K say? Intentionally cheating should result in a lifetime ban. Severe violations should result in multiple years of suspension, especially those involving safety of others. All right, so 2K is not here to play. 2K says a lifetime ban, severe violation should result in multiple year suspensions, especially those involving safety to others. Does anybody disagree with that one? Because, hey, I mean, when you're putting people's lives on the line, that's kind of serious. All right, the burning season says, in my opinion, Chris cheated. Bass rules. Let's see. Who is Chris? Who are you guys referring to? In my opinion, Chris cheated. Bass rules state you must abide by all state laws. All right, so yeah, I mean, if you're breaking a law, especially if you get a ticket, that's pretty much a done deal. All right, let's see. The burning season says New York laws: all game fish foul hook must be released the year Chris. Okay, there we go. Chris Johnston won the St. Lawrence, he snagged a smallie in the belly. He called Lisa. She let him keep the fish. She doesn't even know the law. All right. So, hey, the angler did the right thing. The angler did the right thing. So the tournament organization allowed it. So that is one of the things we're talking about, guys. Whenever you're having people that are involved that you know have committed these violations and cheating in the past, and you allow that into your organization, are you willing to taint your organization by allowing that kind of thing to happen? All right, let's see. Let's see what else we have in here. So I'm just checking in the chat real quick just to see if anybody else had any comments. All right, shout out to Crush It Jail, the current sponsor of the live stream. Crush It Jail says it worked great. I just caught one on Gunnersville 2 weeks ago. Okay, so you guys are in here networking, always a good thing. Says plus we have several customers that live in the Northeast that use it on smallies. So maybe Crush It Jail is talking about Crush It Jail. Is that what you're talking about? All right, so make sure you guys go and check out that Crush It Jail. Sounds like it's working on some smallies up there. All right, so let's see. Just checking out the chat again. All right, so I don't see anything else in the chat. So that poll question, actually, I need to put up the next poll question. Let's just take a look and see. Does anybody have any thoughts or what you would like to see as a poll question to kind of gauge the room? All right, shout out to Don Yarborough. All right, so here we go. This is kind of interesting. And, you know, I've kind of mentioned this before also. Don says, I wish the YouTubers that are saying someone is cheating would name names. If there's no proof, then the YouTuber should be charged with defamation. Oh my goodness, not defamation, hitting them with defamation. But if they're not naming the names, then they're not specifically defaming any person, though. So how would that work, Don? You said, if I wish the YouTubers that are saying someone is cheating would name the names. All right. But if they don't name the names, then they're not defaming anybody. They're just kind of throwing a vague statement out there, kind of. You said, if there's no proof, then the YouTuber should be charged with defamation. So that is possibly could be the case. If you're naming someone's name and just making blanket statements about someone that are kind of unfounded, that could be, you know, possible. All right. So shout out to the money team. Bark and Rugers, oh yeah, agrees with Don on that one. All right, good deal, Don. Yeah, I've said the same thing too. Whenever I hear people being specific and you know they're talking about someone, but you don't quite know who, but there are people around that will know who that person is. All right, so shout out to Rick, says, yo, money, Leesburg, Florida. All right, shout out to Leesburg, Florida. Really appreciate you for tuning in. All right, so Ron Robinson, what do you have to say? Says, we all should remember their districts in every state if they're to be called on. All right. So guys, remember that. All right. Chappie says the burning season. It says trout, lake trout. Oh, what is that? Okay, Sam. Okay. All right. So you guys are getting specific in here. All right. Talking about a few things. All right. So there's another clip I want you guys to take a look at. Let me drop this down. Once again, this is a live show, guys. We get together every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Let me just drop this down real quick. All right. Here we go. And let me share my screen. We're going to take a look at someone else that you guys might be familiar with. Let's see. Where is it at? I think you guys might like this one. I think you might like it. All right, here we go, guys. Let me just find it real quick. Actually, let me do this real quick. All right, just bear with me, guys. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. All right, does anybody know this nice gentleman right here? Does anybody know who that is? Shout out to Randy Blockett. All right, so Randy had a few things to say. He put out a video talking about cheaters. I mean, Randy talks about a lot of things. So let's see and just listen to see what he had to say, kind of on the topic of how things are handled whenever it comes to cheating in the industry.
Now, one of the things about that I have seen.
All right, so I don't think you guys can understand it at that speed. So let's slow that down just a little bit. All right, here we go.
Because there has been some good tournament directors over the years, and I've seen some people that have violated some rules, and they have basically been they've gotten off with a warning, and that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that out there, because I don't think that somebody, for example, if you have an honest mistake, say for example you you went through a no wake zone too fast, and you legitimately didn't see the sign there. You weren't trying to break any rules, and you were disqualified from the tournament for blowing through a no wake area, even though it was an honest mistake. I think there are situations out there that if you make an honest mistake that is a rule violation, there's nothing wrong with the tournament directors using discretion to say, hey, just watch it next time. That's not going to do anything this time, but just watch it with that. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you have some violations out there that are a little bit more mischievous, that maybe somebody's trying to push a gray area a little bit, and they violated a rule and they try to justify it because it's right on the borderline of being legal or not legal, instead of disqualifying those people from the tournament, just give them a financial fine. I don't think it's right unless somebody has some type of a blatant cheating, like whether like they've got a premeditated plan to cheat in a tournament. I don't think that people should be disqualified for tournaments. I think they should just be fined or given a warning, because what happens there is, let's say, for example, you're a typical aspiring tournament angler and you drive for 1,200 miles across the country to go to a tournament. And let's say, for example, you're out there fishing and you got all excited and this and that, and you're catching a bunch of fish and you want to idle across the cove to your next spot and you forget to put your life jacket on. Honest mistake. It's like you're caught up in the heat of the moment. You idle across the cove without your life jacket on, and that is a rule violation that can get you disqualified from the tournament.
All right, so there we go. So we kind of heard a little of what good old Randy Blockett has to say about some rules violations versus cheating. So who agrees with that? So basically what he is saying is, let's say you're excited, you're out there fishing and you forget to put your life jacket on and you kind of idle across the lake to the other side to start fishing. And obviously that is a rules violation and you can be disqualified for that. So obviously if the rules say that is disqualification, then do you skirt the rules? But if you were the one that was going to put that in place and put a penalty on that, would you make that more of a disqualification? Would you respond to that with a disqualification, or do you think it would be more fair to give that person maybe some type of fine, like what Randy was thinking? What do you guys think? I can go ahead and drop that as a poll question. We can add that in there just to see what you guys think. So let's see. So we'll do it like this. Should forgetting your life vest be a disqualification or a fine? All right. So we will keep this one simple again. So we will go with the disqualification. And this is going to be a poll question, guys. I'm typing the poll up right now. Remember, this is a live show, so sometimes I have to stop, take a pause for the cause real quick. All right, so pause, disqualification or a fine. All right, so that poll is live and in action. Make sure you guys participate. The live streams always build off of the participation of you guys in the chat and the poll questions. All right, so now let's see if anybody else wants to call in. Let me just drop this call-in link once again. And if you have a YouTube channel, you probably want to come up and, just introduce yourselves. You never know who's watching. May pique some interest. All right. So that call in link is in the chat. If anybody wants to come up, I'll just pull you up for maybe like a minute or two, let you speak your piece, then drop you back down and keep on moving with the program. All right, so let's see. I'm going to hop back into the chat now and see what you guys are talking about. Shout out to Barkin Rugers and the Money Team. The Money Team members are the members of the channel, guys. Those are the guys that you hear me referring to as the Money Team. And if you are interested in supporting the channel, just click the join button down below. It will give you a little bit about the perks that come along with that, one of which is you will see the banner. Not the banner, the badge right next to that person's name that kind of sets them apart from the other people in the chat. And the other thing, always make sure you check the description on these live streams, guys. Anytime I find any deals on products or any information that I think can definitely help you guys out, I always drop that in the chat. And one of the things that I do have going, guys, is for the military guys, but also if you're non-military, make sure you take a look at the link in the chat These are solar bat shades. It's that time of year, guys, for you guys that like bed fishing, or you looking at your electronics, you want to cut back on some of that glare. These are the ones, this lens color right here, this high vis yellow is what I like to call it. But you have different frames that you can choose from. And if you use the code MONEYBASS, always make sure you use the code MONEYBASS, guys, so you can get free shipping. Military guys, you will get a 30% discount on your orders. Remember that. That is very, very good, guys. So yeah, just check that out. Wanted to make sure I made you guys aware of that. All right, so let's hop back into the chat and see what you guys have to say. All right, so Barkin Ruger says, seems like there's a drastic difference between forgetting to put your PFD on versus flying through a no-wake zone. Oh yeah, it's a big difference. One of them you're kind of endangering other people. The other one you're kind of just endangering yourself, which still is not a good look for an organization. All right, and what about areas where residents post unofficial no-wake zones? Oh yeah, we kind of disregard those unofficial no-wake zones, like no casting next to my dock. I don't think there's too many fishermen that will say, oh man, I don't want to go to jail for casting next to that dock. They'll probably go ahead and make that cast. All right, so Bass Fishing with Big Malone says definitely a fine, no need to DQ on that one. All right, so Bass Fishing with Malone says, hey, if I'm setting up my tournament, you won't get DQ'd. We'll just hit you in the pocket a little bit, make you remember it for the next time. Yeah, and I kind of agree that there should be different levels to fines, but it should be defined. So if that is what the penalty is going to be, just go ahead and make that across the board. Yeah, if somebody just hops down and they start the motor and kind of idle or something like that, and like, oh man, I forgot to put my life jacket on. Yeah, maybe it should be a fine. So what do you know? Some of you might actually agree with Randy Blockett. All right, so let's see. All right, Big Ivy says, I'm fishing, what is that? Cal-Sag in Illinois on the 27th. This will be for a Bassmasters Nation. Okay, all right. So he's out here doing his thing. All right, so Don says, I don't remember which YouTube I saw, but it mentioned anglers rooming together were cheating and should be broken up. I think I've kind of heard something like that before too. But I thought anglers could share information. Let's see. We all know who they are talking about because they are winning. Uh-oh. I know what you're talking about, Don, on that one. And actually, when I saw that, I was thinking the same thing. Why talk all around that subject? Because in that situation, I know exactly what you're saying. It's said in a way to where it's very, very, very strongly implies who is being talked about, but didn't just outright say it. So it kind of taints that person's name. But what it can also do is if somebody is kind of misunderstanding who they're talking about, they may start seeing somebody else in a different light. So yeah, I understand your point on that one. All right, Barkin Ruger says need a paw option for neither. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so right now the poll says, should forgetting your life vest be a disqualification or a fine? All right, so yeah, we were just trying to keep it simple. All right, so we have 66% are saying that it should be a fine. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of a tough one. I can see if you're flying down the lake doing about 70 miles an hour and you're endangering yourself, something like that. All right, so Ron Robinson says, don't have a rule that isn't going to be enforced. All right, there we go. Yeah, if you're going to put it on the books, then go ahead and enforce it. All right, Texas Noop. Shout out to Texas Noop. Haven't seen you in a minute. Says, but someone gets hurt because you didn't have on your vest. Would the family care for a previous fine? All right, interesting. All right, Bassin with Big Malone says, unless continuous repeat offender. All right, so we have 2K says, if you don't want to follow the rules, then don't tournament fish. Rules are rules. If they don't apply to everyone all the time, then we're just playing favorites. All right, and that's bull. All right. Interesting way of saying that. But yeah, I mean, you definitely make a good point. You want to keep things fair across the board. All right, so yeah, you guys have some good conversations, some good comments going on in there. All right, let me just double check something. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything for you guys. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, I mean, this was kind of an interesting conversation. And the thing is, it's always, to me, I like hearing people's thoughts and opinions on things where you may be 100% set on a certain way of thinking, but then you hear somebody explain something a little bit different and you're like, okay, well, wait a minute, that does kind of make some sense. Maybe I can incorporate those thoughts into how I was looking at things, and it may make things a little better, may open your eyes a little bit. All right, let's see. All right, Brent says, you gonna spend $5K on a tournament and not report someone for cheating? Oh yeah, now that is definitely a good point. That is definitely a good point. Are you gonna drop 5K, watch someone beat you because they're cheating and not say anything? Man, that's a tough one right there. I like that comment, Brent. All right, so Chappie says, let's see, good point. As far as I know, you need to have a jacket per person in your boat. Don't have to be wearing it. So yeah, I think you have to have your jacket on when you're running, when the boat is when you're on plane. But I think some of them, once you turn the big motor on, you have to have the life jacket on. Don says, rules state if the big motor is running, life jacket on. Should you get a ticket if wildlife offers to stop you and your kill switch is not attached? It's a national law, right? Uh-oh. All right, we're getting technical. All right, the burning season says, let's see, where do we go? Why do people have to live in the gray? All this crap is making the circuits look like a traveling sideshow. Yeah, it's going to be tough because being specific, there's so many different things and so many things where it may be this, but it's kind of a little bit of this other thing to where there's going to be holes, and it's kind of hard to just be specific on everything. All right, Mike Deal says part of your small circuits are PFD above idle, others are anytime the boat is in gear. Exactly. I've seen that on seen both of those before. All right. You guys have some interesting conversations going on in here. All right, really appreciate that. All right, so let's see. I'm just kind of scrolling through here, guys. Want to give another big shout out to the money team. Those are the members of the channel. Really appreciate it. All right, let's see. Barkin Ruger says, devil's advocate. I'm an angler, paying customer. I don't work for the tournament organizer. Therefore, I shouldn't be required to be a mandatory reporter. But if you're joining an organization that is a requirement, should you join that organization if you don't agree with that? And if you know that you're just not going to report it, but their rules require you to report it, or you are just as much in violation and can be disqualified. And the other thing to think about this is in that Brian New situation, Brian New actually mentioned that the person that he was affecting by that violation that he was committing did not report him. So should something happen to that angler, I was like, oh my goodness, man. And then Andrew Upshaw asked the same question. Well, hey, I reported like I was supposed to. Should that other boater have reported something? Kind of interesting. So whenever you see something and don't say something, what if the person that actually made the violation turns themselves in and then turns you in also for not turning them in? Oh my goodness. That would be a terrible thing. They're going to turn themselves in and turn you in for not reporting them for doing wrong. That's pretty bad. That's ugly. So yeah, it's kind of a catch-22 on that one. All right, Brett says people are living in the gray since rules were invented. That is true. Everybody's trying to kind of slide by if you can. All right, let's see what else we have, guys. Oh yeah, you guys are having some fun in the comments. Oh man, so I mean we're back, guys. I've been running for about what is that? About a little over an hour. So we had some fun with this. I want to give a big shout out to Crush It Jail. Crush It Jail is the sponsor of tonight's live stream. Hit me with the $10 super sticker. Really appreciate it. Each week, whoever gives the largest super chat or super sticker is the sponsor of the live stream. And also want to remind you guys to check out SolarBat. Use the code MONEYBASS. You can get some deep discounts, guys. Get that free shipping. Military guys, you will get a 30% discount. And if you take a look, these are the Air Force edition. So if you see in the background, let me just kind of see if I can put those side by side. There we go. So if you take a look on there, you kind of see that Air Force logo on the side, guys. So there we go. We have that military edition. So, but if you don't get the military edition, you still get the 30% off. So you military guys definitely want to check it out. It is that time of year where these do come in handy out there. You want to protect your eyes for one. And also if you like going after some of those fish that you can see, then you do want to have on a nice pair of shades, guys. So I hope that helps someone out. Being able to get those discounts. The discount code is MONEYBASS for any products that I try to bring to you guys to help you guys out. I will try to make sure we get that discount code MONEYBASS. So it'll be pretty easy for you to remember and get those discounts. All right, so let's see. Let me just hop back into the chat one more time, see if there's any closing statements anybody has. All right, so shout out to the Burning Season, says Money Bass. Congrats. And let me see, back to back, just seen the vids. All right, yeah, I'm out here, I'm doing a little something, trying to bring some good content for you guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you guys are finding value in the content from the channel. All right, and the other thing I forgot to follow back up on, should forgetting your life vest be a disqualification or a fine? So we have 64% says a fine versus a disqualification. All right, so here we go. Don says, Money Bass, inflatable life jackets only count if worn. That is true, guys. So I pretty much try to leave my my inflatable on, even when I hop down and I put on my other life vest. I still leave my inflatable on. I kind of like those because they're a lot more comfortable. They don't really take up a lot of space and they don't feel bulky. But having a snap-on, not the inflatable life vest whenever you're running, I've heard is a lot safer than having the inflatables when you're running. All right, so let me see. Don says, technically, if they remove their jackets without having other wearable jackets, it's against the law. Right. And I've heard the same thing. If that is the only life jacket that you have on your boat, not sure if it varies from state to state, but if you have an inflatable on your boat and you do not have a non-inflatable, then that inflatable must be on. It does not count if you have it in the compartment. All right, let's see. All right, so yeah. All right, good deal, guys. I really, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Once again, big shout out to Crush It Gel. Make sure you guys check out the links in the description. I do still have that discount on those solar bat shades. Check them out and let me know what you guys think. All right, guys. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll be back again on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, but you never know. If something pops up out here in these YouTube streets, I will be back. All right, guys, have fun with you. I will see you guys on the next live stream.